Hi guys, thanks for joining me again. Well, you'll never guess where I am today. I'm actually in Soi Diamond and I'm here with Phil. If you don't know Phil, he's the only YouTuber that I didn't meet when I was here in December. Let me take these off, don't need these, do I? So when I came here in December, I met everybody in Nick Dean's bar. So I haven't been into Nick's bar this time because, I just haven't had time. I'm doing so much stuff, but I was aware that I hadn't met Phil. And I've kind of said to myself, right, I've got to go and meet him because I want to go and meet him. So he's here today. And thanks for meeting up with me, Phil. Good to meet you finally.
It's an absolute pleasure. You're an inspiration. I don't want to embarrass you, but let's embarrass you.
Oh, no.
You're an inspiration for me for doing the channel.
Why don't you tell everybody the name of your channel? It's LePub Pattaya, is it?
LePub Pattaya, or if you're Brian Flowers, LePub Pattaya, but it's actually LEPUB Pattaya, all one word.
Because your live streams are really popular with the girls, aren't they, playing pool?
Yeah, that came around because if you wasn't over here, 2020 we got closed because for about 2 months in May, and then in December, the 30th, the day before New Year's Eve, the biggest night of the year for some people, they said, no, you've got to close again. It's getting out of control. So I said to the girls, because I had loads of girls, and I said, should we just do a live stream and play pool? Because I'd had this idea of playing pool. And they says, I thought they'd say, no boss, we don't want to do that, we're too shy. And they all went, yeah. And that live stream just went completely nuts.
Yeah. Do you think that kind of saved your bacon as far as, because you have a lot of overheads, anybody who runs a bar, obviously they have overheads, they have staff, electric, the landlord never, some will give them a break, cheaper rent, but did you, you must, I'm not going to ask you your personal details obviously, but you must have been struggling through 2 years. Like me, you didn't know how long it was going to go on for, did you?
And to be honest, Peter, before I answer the specific question, if I'd have known it was 2 years, I would probably have packed up and gone. I was thinking about that into the second year when we went into 2021, and I know that a mutual friend of ours, Simon, he went home, Simon from Land of Smiles, and he's done really well for himself since he's gone home.
I've not actually met him.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy, and he did rather like we're doing now. He went on his channel and he was great. But in answer to a specific question, my landlord, you talk about landlord, my landlord was absolutely brilliant.
Was he?
I couldn't ask for better, and he still is. Yeah. We're in my new bar, Milk, now, which is next door to the pub. The pub's behind the camera, and next door, and I just basically picked this stuff for nothing. Who does that? It's just brilliant. So my landlord really helped. Yes, the live streams really helped keep the girls together, but I really kept the bar going really for my mental health more than anything else. And I'm not saying like that was an issue, but it's just like there would be 2 or 3 people come to the bar every day, but it was just so nice to talk to people, because otherwise it would have gone crazy. So in the darkest days, in sort of May, June last year, I opened the bar with serving soft drinks. I was taking 300 baht a day, 400 baht a day, but hey,
nothing, right?
I was keeping going, and the girls were happy. And but in answer to your specific question, of course the live streams help, and all the people that helped, gave money to the girls, fantastic. I couldn't ask for more.
See, because you and I are in quite a different boat. You did the live streams, like you say, for your own mentality, keep the girls busy. Some very kind donators sent in a lot of money. And we're all thankful for super chats. A lot of people will call us e-beggars. Who doesn't like money?
Well,
at the end
I've
of the
actually
day, right?
been. I have been homeless, so
it
doesn't bother me.
No,
he can call me, can throw stones at me. Honestly, I actually went from that situation when I was a lot younger, being homeless, to actually taking the money that I got and turning it around and becoming a DJ. Actually, when life throws you lemons, make lemonade. That's what I always thought. Yeah.
So did you I want this to be a little bit of a different interview rather than just talk about girls and bars and customers. I'm trying to drill down here. So when it was really, in its dark days, I was fine because I live in the UK. It just means I couldn't go on holiday to Thailand. But obviously, guys like you, there was you and all the other bar owners. You had to keep your head above water, and you had staff to keep as well. Was there anybody here, because I don't know of anybody, but was there anybody that just had enough and they just couldn't hack it and they literally did throw the towel and head back to the UK?
Most of the bar operators I know, during the first year, And most of the bar operators I know are usually got big go-go bars and stuff on Walking Street. I don't know too many beer bar operators. A lot of them, I know it sounds crazy, in the first year, 2020, if you remember then,
of course,
that they kept going because of crypto. They all got into crypto, and they all started. They made lots and lots of money on that, so that kept them going.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Why did you not get into crypto then?
Because I'm one of these like, oh yeah, crypto is a 5 minute thing, and to be honest, nothing against people that are into it, but financial matters have never really interested me that much. Money is not my master, I like to say. So, was there a specific bar owner that I can think of? No, not really. I mean, to be honest, people forget there was a lot of bars in trouble before COVID. 2019, Heaven Above had closed. I'm talking specifically about Walking Street. Showcase, Living Doll Showcase closed a few weeks after that. Happy was closed. Wow. Everyone says, oh yeah, the pandemic come and Happy closed. No, Happy was closed 6 months before the pandemic. Secrets had gone. A couple of the chains, I won't mention them because I don't want to embarrass them, they were having troubles. So it wasn't just the pandemic. I can't think, in answer to a specific question, of a single bar that actually just packed it in. I know there was a guy who's got a big friend on Pattaya Addicts who had a bar on Soi Diamond. I think he just packed it in, but I don't really know that.
All right, let's move on then. So the next question I want to ask you, really, because you know, if you're not a Pattaya regular or you've never been here before, a lot of the bars run with the girls. You know, they're the kind of hostesses. They hang out, they work in the bars. Guys can come and play Connect 4, whatever, with them. So you were telling me earlier, Phil, that the girls now, they're getting very expensive. They're getting hard to get.
Yeah.
What in the old days, you know, they'd come to you with their hand out, but now it's turned the other way around. You're saying it's difficult. What do you think's caused that?
It was never that easy. I mean, I was running bars for other people back in the early 2000s, and it was never that easy, but it did seem a bit easier. Okay. So I can read and write top very badly, but I can still pick it up. Right. I come to work, every single bar has got a sign outside that says recruiting new staff. Every single bar. So you've got, how many bars do you pass? So if you got off the BART bus at the top of Soi Diamond and walked onto Walking Street and to your bar in I don't know, the main stretch of Walking Street, you'll probably pass 20-30 bars. Every single one is advertising for girls, and there's so much opportunity for them. And I do think that Thailand has moved on from the 1980s and 1990s. You know, it's got a massive booming economy, tourism, manufacturing, agriculture, all three. I mean, tourism's coming back, but agriculture and manufacturing, huge, biggest rice producer in the world. And the girls don't need necessarily to come and work for their families anymore. Their families are doing okay.
Let me just interject with something, put a little twist on that now. So I've spent a lot of time up on Soi Buakhao. I wasn't a fan of that area at all. It kind of struck me as an Asian Ibiza, you know, just all that's missing is a kiss me quick hats. But do you know what? There's a lot of action over there. There's a lot of girls up there. The prices are cheap. Is that going to affect you here, or do you not see that as competition? It's a different crowd, or?
I always think that there's room for everybody, and it might well be that there's, you know, that those bars attract a lot of customers, but it might be that those customers are not necessarily the biggest spenders in the world, and the girls really want to work in a bar where they might not be as busy, but at least they've got a few, you know, a few high spending customers spending money on lady things. Every area is different. Sure, I mean, Tree Town, just take Tree Town. It's busy. There's lots and lots of bars open there, and they need girls like everybody else does. But it's not just money that attracts a girl to a job. I've realised this now. It can be so many things. So there's, there's money. Money's important, but Mama-san, do I like the Mama-san? Do I like the boss? Is the boss a bit handsy? Is he trying to get in there, whatever? Particulars. Are the customers nice? Do they have a problem with another girl in the bar? Are the customers generally, you know, nice, good spending? Is the aircon too? Everything. Is the aircon hot? Do they like the costume and the uniform they're in? All these things go into a reason why a girl will work in a bar or not, and not just the amount of customers. And sometimes, like, there's a bar not a million miles away from here where there's about 5 or 6 girls, but there's one absolute stunner. This girl could walk in any bar in Pattaya and get a job in a heartbeat. Well, she works there. And I don't know this girl, I don't know the bar very well, but I'll bet $1 million that she's there because she's the queen bee there. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm the one everyone comes for. So she's got face.
So, you know, I remember when I lived here years ago, I had friends who owned bars, some of the bigger bars. One bar, I'm not going to name it, one bar in particular in Nana, it was a big go-go bar. They had 3 mama-sans, not one mama-san, they had 3 because they had 100 girls working there. And each mama-san had her 25, 30 girls.
Little crew.
Yeah, and what the owner used to say to me, you know, I would never upset a mama-san. If you don't know, everybody knows what a mama-san is, looks after the girls, right? But, you know, they were always shit scared to upset the mama-sans. You know, they were basically like the queen bees, as you put it, because if she left, 30 girls would go, you know. And is it not very much like that now? Is that those days gone?
Yes, there are. I think the mama-sans that can walk into a bar with 30 girls are probably few and far between now, because the girls are more independent. They do want to work in bars with other girls some of the time. Some of the times they want to freelance. But when I specifically set up this bar Milk, I made a big statement, and sometimes I am regretting it. I says, I'm not having a mama-san. I'm not having a mama-san because...
But can't you change that though? Can't you get that?
Yeah, of course, but it means that I'm going back on my word. And I'll put my hand up and say, I made a mistake.
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't. Unless... No, but a lot of girls, a lot of Thai girls says to me, good idea not having a mama-san. Because I've worked with a lot of mama-sans and they're very nice ladies, but I've never met one that isn't in it for themselves, really. Well, there's nobody, like I've got 2 bars now, Peter. There's nobody that will love and work for and grind for these bars. Maybe grind's a bad verb to use, but will work hard for these bars. There's nobody that will put as much effort into these bars as me. There's nobody. Does that make sense?
Personal question, you don't tell me if I'm being too personal, but do you live above the bars, do you? Or
no, I could do, but I've got girls, so I've got
the girls
4
will
or 5 girls. No, I think I've got 3 girls up here. And I've got about 6 girls next door.
Okay, so you live out of the premises.
Yeah,
okay.
And I think, you know what, I think that's a good thing. Definitely. Otherwise you get people turning up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're just going for sleep. Go wake the boss up, go wake the boss up, let's have a drink.
So, okay, just to sort of round this up now, I mean, it's been great speaking to you, but how can you see the future of Pattaya in the future? I mean, before you answer it, I mean, people say, oh, it's gone totally Chinese, it's gone totally Indian, catering for the Indians, they're knocking down all the old landmarks and building all this, you know, all these shopping centres. We've got a new hotel at the end of the Beach Road Space, is it? The one that looks like you know, all this sort of stuff's coming up. These kind of bars in a traditional way where you have the beer bars with the girls and what have you, where can you see this going in the future? Is it going to be sustainable or is it going to fizzle out slowly?
I think you have to look at Pattaya either as an entertainment place or as somebody where people live and work. And I think the biggest change for Pattaya, medium term to long term, is going to be the train that's coming. I've said this a lot of times. And people say, oh, we've always heard, you know, this high-speed rail link's going to happen. It's going to happen, trust me, it's been built already. I know people that are on that project. And so in 6-7 years' time, you're going to get high-speed train into Pattaya, although not central Pattaya, it's going to be by the Ambassador Hotel. But within, you know, a very quick journey.
Close,
and you'll be in downtown Bangkok in 25 minutes. That is a game changer because you're from the UK, and you might have people that live elsewhere, but taking the UK for example, Luton, Reading, Watford, these are all satellite towns to London. People live there and commute, and I think that's what will happen. So I think you'll get more middle class, high class Thais moving into Pattaya, and all the condos that you see that are empty at the moment, they'll get full up because the rent is like a third of what it is in Bangkok, so you'll get people that will just commute. So that will change. You'll see a lot more high-so Thais, and the high-so Thais will be the people going into space and going into Central and going into Terminal 21. So they'll cater for themselves. As far as the bars are concerned, I feel that your traditional beer bar complex is probably on the way out, and it's not because of, you know, the government want to get rid of them and they want to. No, I think just general economics. I think the girls are very, very wised up, like I've already said. and I think they know what a nice spa, nice working environment is, and I think they want to work in a nice air-conditioned nightclub or a nice air-conditioned go-go bar or something like that that's got a nice light show that looks nice, that gives them good face. They don't want to work in a, and I'm not knocking beer bars here if anybody likes beer bar. I like beer bars. I spent all my entire holidays in beer bars, but they're not as nice. And you know, there's going to be guys sitting there playing Jenga, listening to the Eagles and the Cranberries, and the girls are going to go, oh, I don't want to be here, I want to be somewhere nice. So the younger generation of workers are going to be moving more towards the bigger venues, and I think big venues, nightclubs definitely is the way forward. I think in 20 years time it will be more of a go to a nightclub and meet a little friend that way, rather than going to a bar. I think there'll be a big...
So in other words, we've had the best of it the last 30 years.
Well, I'll tell you what, Peter, I don't want to piss you off, but I'm going to piss you off.
Go on then.
2020, the last 6 months before we got that, I think that was the absolute, the golden age of Pattaya.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm sorry, please, I'm not being nasty, there was no tourists here. There was loads of girls who couldn't go home because the village elders were saying, don't come home from Pattaya, they're all, those horrible stinking falangs have all got COVID. By the way, it wasn't us that had COVID, it was another country, but let's not go there. The girls were all here with nothing to do and no money, and we were here. So it was absolutely brilliant, Peter. I'll tell you what,
when I came out here in December, when it was, you know, still, like Phil says, there were not many people here. And I did actually say in one of my videos, do you know what, it's kind of nice in a way. Obviously I prefer it when the tourists are here and there's more going on and bars close at 2. But when the bars close at 9, like Phil's just said, it was kind of fun because you'd walk along the beach road and there was just Thais, you know, and you see the odd farang.
And you being a handsome man.
Oh, of course, yeah, you know, you're not a young handsome man anymore.
Not like me.
Well, there you go. Right, final question. Well, final 2 questions, so we'll make these short, because how long have we been going? About half an hour. Right, when's the last time you were back in the UK?
Too long. I can't remember if it was 4 years ago or 5 years ago.
Right, okay, not too bad. I know guys who haven't been back for like 20
years. No, but
years.
I want to go back to the UK. Yeah,
I've got family there.
I've got family, and I actually like the UK. I'm quite proud to be British, and I miss silly things.
I'm not sure if you'd want to be back at the moment with the things that are going on there.
Well, there's a lot of changes. A lot of changes.
A lot of changes that are not for the good. But like I say, we won't get into it. And final question: apart from obviously missing family and that sort of thing, what's what thing you miss the most about the UK? Well, not the cold weather, surely. Right,
and I do say this a lot on my channel, and sorry if I'm repeating myself to your wonderful subscribers, but okay, pavements. Yeah. How about pavements? Pavements for pedestrians and not parking bikes on them, and pavements that you can walk. I miss things like that. I know it sounds silly. I miss some of the food, you know, this great British food like chicken tikka masala, you know. Also, I love talking to people, and I'll talk to a brick wall all day, but I do like my solitude as well, being on my own, and I like a walk in the country parks. The planning, the town planning in the UK is far superior to Thailand, because in Thailand, if you've got a piece of land with some restrictions, you can basically do anything you want on that land. There's no like, oh, this is green belt. So you don't get the lovely country parks. Yes, there are country parks here, but it's too bloody hot, Pete.
Somewhere you must visit if you get to Bangkok is at the end of Soi Ford. Have just built that in-city country park, and it's getting a good reputation.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Phil, what can I say? It's been a pleasure. I'm just going to give you a quick. I was going to say another word, but I'll say an advertisement here. So if you haven't been, if you come into Pattaya or Pattaya, however you want to say it, Phil is on Soi Diamond. He's got LePub or LePub, as somebody else pronounces it, on Soi Diamond. He's just got his new bar here now, which is called Milk. I wish you every success in that. When's your next live stream?
I'm doing a members tonight, and then Sunday.
So anybody who watches this, Phil does a members stream on a Sunday. What time does that come out?
No. I do members on a Saturday. A public stream on a Sunday at 2:30 AM Thai time.
Right, so what time, if somebody wanted to watch your live stream in the UK on a Sunday, what time would it be?
Well, it depends what time zone we're in. If we're in British summertime still, it's...
Let's say 7 hours
8:30. And if it's GMT 7:30.
Okay, well we look forward to catching a bit of that, and well, yeah, Phil, it's been a pleasure. Thank you
Pete,
for coming on here.
I'm just going to be writing a story for you for your channel. It's my wife attacked me with a wok.
After 18 days.
After 19 days. And then my ex-girlfriend stabbed me. So I'm busy writing that.
It's all good fun. It's all good fun here in Thailand. All right, Phil, all the best, and
cheers,
again, all the success, best of success with your bar, okay?
Should we go and have a beer?
We should. Let's go and have a beer. See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.